Ever wonder why some people seem to have their financial lives under control, while others are constantly struggling to keep up? What's the difference? Could it be the boundaries they set? Stick around, because in the next few minutes, you'll learn the 8 financial boundaries that can protect your future and put you on the path to financial freedom. In today's video, we're diving deep into the concept of financial boundaries, one of the most powerful ways to protect your money, sanity, and long-term goals. Setting clear financial boundaries can help you stop overspending, saying yes when your budget says no, and even lend you the confidence to stand your ground when people ask you for money. So let's get started. 1. Know your numbers before setting any boundaries. Before you can set any meaningful financial boundaries, you need to know where your money is going. Tracking your spending for a month is the first step. Once you know your numbers, it becomes much easier to set boundaries that actually work for you. When you track your money, you begin to see patterns you might not have noticed before. Maybe you're spending more on subscriptions than you realized, or constantly picking up the tab for group dinners. Knowing your numbers gives you the clarity to make informed decisions about where your money should be allocated and how to fix those leaks. Once you get the full picture, it becomes easier to spot problem areas that need boundaries. You'll also want to categorize your expenses into fixed costs, like housing, utilities, savings, emergency fund, retirement, and guilt-free spending discretionary items. With this knowledge, you can set more realistic boundaries based on your financial priorities. 2. Create a personal policy for lending money. Lending money to loved ones can be tricky. It might seem like the right thing to do, but more often than not, it brings out stress for both parties involved. The borrower might feel guilty, and the lender may feel uncomfortable or burdened. This is where a clear personal policy for lending money comes in. Having a policy means you've already decided in advance what you're comfortable with, so there's no awkwardness when someone asks. Whether you decide to never lend money, only lend what you can afford to lose, or simply turn a loan into a gift, having a rule in place will protect both your finances and your relationships. Imagine how much easier it is to say, "I can't lend you money," when you know it's part of your established rule. If you do decide to lend money, treat it seriously, like a formal agreement. That means specifying the amount, repayment schedule, and what happens if the borrower can't pay it back. This might feel a little rigid, but it ensures that everyone is on the same page and no one is left feeling uneasy. Plus, it removes any lingering doubts or confusion between you and the borrower. 3. Stop splitting bills equally when you shouldn't. Splitting the bill equally may seem fair, but it only works if everyone orders similar items. If you're the one who sticks to a simple meal while your friends order the expensive dishes, it's time to set a boundary. You shouldn't have to pick up the tab for someone else's choices, especially if it's out of your budget. When the bill arrives, don't be afraid to speak up and say, "I'm going to pay for what I ordered." It's as simple as that, and most people respect it. To avoid any awkwardness, try telling the server ahead of time that you'd like separate checks. This makes the process smooth and seamless, without anyone feeling uncomfortable or having to argue over who ate what. Additionally, if the group keeps picking expensive spots that don't fit your budget, don't be afraid to suggest alternatives that are more affordable. You'll still be able to enjoy the company of friends, but without the financial strain that can come with overpriced meals. 4. Say no to plans that don't fit your budget. There will always be people around you planning things that don't align with your financial goals. Whether it's a $3,000 trip to an exotic location or a $200 dinner after work, these events can quickly add up, leading to unnecessary stress. Saying yes might feel like the polite thing to do, but when you're saying yes to something your budget can't handle, you're setting yourself up for future financial anxiety. Saying no is often the most responsible decision, even though it might feel uncomfortable at first. The guilt of missing out or disappointing someone can be overwhelming, but it's better than feeling stressed later when the bills come due. When you set this boundary, you give yourself the freedom to say yes to things that actually matter to you without any guilt. When you're invited to expensive plans that don't fit your budget, be honest and upfront. A simple, "I'd love to, but it's not in my budget right now," can solve the problem. And if a plan is too expensive, suggest a more affordable alternative. That way, you're still participating in the social experience, but keeping your finances in check. 5. Set boundaries around talking about money. Talking about money can be awkward, especially in personal relationships. But avoiding money conversations can lead to misunderstandings, tension, and even resentment. Setting boundaries around when and how you talk about money is crucial to maintaining healthy, transparent relationships. For example, in relationships, it's helpful to have regular check-ins about money, whether that's reviewing your joint budget once a month or discussing financial goals together. It helps to create a specific time and place to discuss finances, taking the emotion out of the conversation and making it a routine part of your relationship. On the other hand, with friends or family, you may choose to keep certain details private, like how much you make or how much your house costs. If someone pushes you to discuss your finances, a simple, "I prefer to keep that information private," can shut down the conversation without causing offense. Setting these boundaries allows you to maintain control over what you share and helps avoid uncomfortable situations down the road. 6. Protect your guilt-free spending from others' judgment. Your guilt-free spending is an essential part of your financial plan. It's the money you set aside to enjoy life, whether for eating out, traveling, or simply enjoying a hobby. Protecting this spending from others' judgment is key to making sure you enjoy life without feeling guilty. People will always have opinions on how you should spend your money. Someone might think your vacation is too expensive or question why you're spending money on a new gadget. But guilt-free spending is personal. It's your money, and you should be able to spend on what makes you happy. As long as your spending doesn't compromise your financial goals, it's nobody's business but yours. If someone tries to judge how you spend your money, don't feel the need to explain yourself. Simply say, "This is within my budget and it makes me happy," and leave it at that. Over time, you'll feel more confident in your spending choices because you know they align with your goals. 7. Build consequences into your boundaries. Setting financial boundaries is one thing, but if you don't enforce consequences, your boundaries will be meaningless. For example, if you tell someone you don't lend money but then make an exception every time they ask, you're not holding firm to your rule. Consequences help reinforce boundaries and ensure they're respected. Consequences don't need to be harsh. They simply need to follow through. If someone crosses your boundary, you can gently but firmly remind them of your rule. If the behavior continues, you might have to take more significant steps, like separating your finances from someone who continuously disrespects your boundaries. By setting consequences, you make it clear that your boundaries are not negotiable. This approach not only protects your money, but also helps build stronger relationships based on mutual respect. 8. Review and adjust your boundaries regularly. Finally, your financial boundaries aren't set in stone. Life changes. Your income increases, you get married, or you have children. As your life evolves, your financial goals and priorities might change too. Regularly reviewing and adjusting your boundaries ensures that they continue to reflect your current financial situation. You might find that what worked when you were single needs to change once you share finances with a partner. Or maybe with a higher income, you feel comfortable adjusting your guilt-free spending. Regularly reviewing your boundaries helps you stay aligned with these evolving goals. At least once a year or after major life changes, check in with your financial boundaries. See what's working, what's no longer serving you, and what needs to be adjusted. This will ensure your boundaries grow with you and continue to protect your long-term financial freedom. And that's a wrap. By setting clear financial boundaries, whether it's know your numbers, protecting your guilt-free spending, or saying no to plans that don't fit your budget, you can protect your financial future and start living the life you truly desire. Take control of your money. Build boundaries that work for you, and watch how your financial confidence grows. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on managing your money and achieving financial freedom. Leave a comment below with your own financial boundaries or any questions you have about setting them in your life. I shall see you in the next video.